Hi, I'm Clay Allison with Wicked Edge. The question we get a lot of the time is, can the Wicked Edge sharpen straight razors? So I've got a straight razor here, nothing fancy, just one I picked up at a gun show. It's nice metal though, from Solingen, Germany. It's a Dovo, and there's a lot of variations in the straight razor design, but most of them follow this format pretty much. The tang coming back to this little thumb portion here, the blade folds down. They're hollow ground, and one of the neatest things about straight razors is they employ a really great geometry which enables the user to quickly find the sharpening angle. And the way that's done in the blade design is that there's kind of a T-shape down here at the spine. If you can zoom in a little bit and see this T-shape here, it's almost like a teardrop really, but it forms a T with the hollow ground. And when you lay a stone against it, what it allows you to do is contact the stone with the spine and the edge, and together that forms the proper sharpening angle. So that makes it very easy to sharpen on the Wicked Edge. The first trick is just how to clamp the thing. And the way that I do it is I just open up the vise to the width of the tang, or the thickness of the blade there, and I just set it in the top of the clamp like this, with this portion lined up with the top of the jaws, and then I tighten it down. So that's really very easy. Now it's clamped in there properly. Okay, so the procedure for setting the angle is really pretty simple. What happens is that the guide rod just slides right off of the base rod here, and you rotate it up 90 degrees just like this and slide it back on, and then I bring it in to where the outside of the collar is lined up with the 20-degree mark, and then I tighten up the thumb screw so it's nice and snug. And what that allows is for the hinge to rotate so that the stone can get very close to the blade, giving us a very narrow sharpening angle that we need for the straight razors. I'll do the same thing on the opposite side here. And just take the rod off, rotate it up 90 degrees, slide it in to where the outside of the collar is lined up with the 20-degree mark, snug it up, and our angles are now set. Next step, for these straight razors I've chosen to use the 10,000 grit Nano Chaucero stones. The water stones are just great because they're so gentle, and they provide enough abrasion that they can help us hone and just reset the edge. But they're gentle enough, and their scratch pattern is fine enough that it makes for a very smooth edge when you're shaving, so that the straight razor doesn't bite into you with any nicks or anything. So I've had these soaking for a while in some water, and I just take them out and I rub them together. And the rubbing them together provides two functions. One is that, and then now they're getting sticky, one is that I'm building a slurry, which is very important in the sharpening process, having that little bit of mud or slurry on the stones. And the second is that I'm constantly reflattening the stones by rubbing them together. As you work the stones across the knife, they'll have a tendency to dish out in the middle sections. So by just getting them wet and rubbing them together, I can flatten them back out again, and at the same time build that slurry. So it's a great time saver to do it that way. And I slide them onto the rods, and then now when I bring these in, they're in perfect contact with both the spine and the edge, giving us the exact sharpening angle that we need. And just gentle pressure, just like this, down the length. And the same thing on this side. Alternating strokes, and you can see the slurry coming off there really nicely. Just like that. And that's really all there is to it with the stones. Then I slide these guys off and clean the blade off. Now 10,000 grit is really very fine already, but generally with a straight razor you want to go even finer. You want that edge super refined, super smooth. So I just clean this off, and I'm going to grab some leather strops that we've got. And these are a great combination, the strops that I have here. What I've got on them is a spray from Hand American at 0.25 microns, and then I've got another spray on the other side that comes from Ken Schwartz, and it's a cubic boron nitride at 0.125 microns. So a 1/4 micron diamond spray from Hand American and an 1/8 micron cubic boron nitride or CBN spray from Ken Schwartz. So the stropping, it's just like the old barbers would do it back in the day. You know, they'd have their long strop and they would go back and forth with it. Only that takes a lot of skill, and it's not easy to do. So with the Wicked Edge, we've taken that same idea with leather strops and made it really easy for anyone to do. And I can almost do this with my eyes closed, just gently stroking the blade like that with the strops in an upward motion. Just like that. No special skills really required there to do it. And then a few passes with the 1/4 micron, clean it off. And I always clean off between every strop because I don't want in this case the spray from the 1/4 micron remaining on the blade so that it contaminates the 1/8 micron when I come over. So I clean it off, and I've got just a paper towel with a little bit of rubbing alcohol on it. Okay, so now I'm with the 1/8 micron, and again just nice gentle strokes, just like that, and then the razor's ready to go. So that's in a nutshell how you sharpen a straight razor on the Wicked Edge. And just to kind of recap, open it up, clamp it with the blade facing up, the whole blade sticking out towards the front by clamping the tang here. You set the angle by taking the collars off of their usual position, which is vertical, and rotating them upward 90 degrees, slide them back on, bring them into where the outside of the collar lines up with the 20-degree mark, snug it up, and you're good to go. And my preferred stone and strop combination for the straight razors is the Nanochosera 5K 10K or 5000 10,000 grit, and then the 1/4 micron diamond and 1/8 micron CBN for my strops. And that's how I maintain my straight razor.